And you know what time it is. It's the one, the only, and it's THFC. And if you don't know, get to know. Because I need to get to know some understanding, some understanding of what I'm hearing from Tottenham fans at the moment. And it's getting ridiculous at the moment. And we're going to get straight into it. We're going to get straight into the subject that everyone's talking about at the moment. And that's Antonio Conte. Everyone now, there is now a exceedingly growing thing going on with the Tottenham fan base. And they're now saying that they do want Conte sacked. And I couldn't sit there anymore and listen to this anymore. Because when I hear fans saying this, I hear this and I think about when they were moaning about us not winning trophies. Everybody was celebrating the moment when Pochettino got sacked. Most people got when Pochettino got sacked. And I'm going back to that. And we brought in Jose Mourinho. Now that day, when we sacked Pochettino, was the day we let go of us wanting free-flowing, attacking football. That was the day. That was the day when we let go of us wanting free-flowing, attacking football. It was gone. Finished. Finito. And now people are saying to us now, when we've got an elite manager, someone that I didn't want in the first place, but even I'm coming back to the fact of saying, why sack an elite manager who's won trophies wherever he's gone when you're saying that we're not playing well at the moment, we're playing too defensive football. We're not attacking the first half. Yes, we've been terrible. But I did say last season when we were playing well, we had one game a week because we bottled it in the Conference League. We bottled it in the FA Cup. Chelsea ran riot against us in the Carabao Cup. We have one game a week. We're playing against bang average Arsenal, competing bang average Arsenal, who bottled it, trying to get Champions League, which was their target. And mostly everyone fit, mostly our star players fit, including the one, the only, Harry Kane, Son. Then Kulusevski turned up, Bentancur turned up because they were rejects at Juventus. And then all of a sudden, we're starting playing well all of a sudden. Because they fit the system that Conte wanted. Everyone was celebrating, waxing lyrical, saying, Tottenham are back. Tottenham are absolutely back. But I was sitting there, going to every single Tottenham game, by the way. So I'm not sitting in my settee, by the way, watching this. I was actually there, at the Tottenham Stadium, watching it there, live, and all proud and everything else. That's what I was saying. And I was sitting there saying to every single Tottenham fan, saying, we're getting lucky here. Some teams will actually hand it tapped down to us. And because we had the better strikers, because everyone was making a big deal about Kulusevski, Kane, Son, they were making a big deal about those three strikers. I said, we've got the better strikers. That's why we're winning the games. The other teams haven't got the better strikers because they don't take their chances, and they didn't take their chances. Other teams had 2 games a week. So who had the advantage? It was always going to be us with Antonio Conte in the building. And I said, he's done a miracle, get us into Champions League, but it was not the be-all and end-all. It's a myth, thinking that you're going to get star players with Champions League. It's about trophies. That was the key thing about trophies. Fast forward right now, we're not playing great football. We've not been playing great football for quite a while. Most of the players, we're losing players because of injury, which happens when you've got 2 games a week and you've got to play loads of games. Players get overplayed, which is not surprising because that's Antonio Conte. If he doesn't trust the player, he's not going to play him. but we're all blaming Antonio Conte. Now, I would sit there and say, yeah, maybe you should blame Antonio Conte. He has made mistakes, yes. But it's with the same players that played under Poch, played under Mourinho, played under Nuno, played under Mason, played under all those managers. And we're now blaming Antonio Conte, who's won championships. And also, this is where this is where I know I'm right. Why is it we went to Antonio Conte twice? Twice. We went to him twice to get him in. So it wasn't him that wanted us, it's the other way round. And this is the thing that doesn't really make sense to the Tottenham fan base. It's like saying, well, we're not playing great football. Yeah, but the thing is, like I said, and like I said from the very beginning, the day we sacked Pochettino was the day we didn't want good football. Because I was told after Pochettino got sacked, oh, we need trophies now. This is a team that needs to win trophies now. Which is the same situation we're in at the moment. Further on to that theory that everybody's talking about at the moment, because you have to all talk about this now and get this all in the open. Who's our director of football, by the way? Oh, yes, it's Pratigy. Oh, my gosh, yes. The same guy that stopped us from going from managers, from going from Mauricio Pochettino to Eric Ten Hag to Hansi Flick to Julian Nagelsmann to Brendan Rodgers. That was a list of Steve Hitchen that everybody was saying that he was absolute rubbish, didn't like him at all. But we all know that was nothing to do with Steve Hitchen. We all know that. I had to take some humble pie on that. Because who was making the deals? Who was doing the deals? And it was Daniel Levy. The same guy that got in Paratici. So this is what I'm saying to you, Tottenham fans, and anybody that is listening to me right now. You're looking at the wrong people at the moment. The wrong people. Because the fact is, if you're going to sack Antonio Conte, who's coming in? Who's coming in? We've got no choice but to keep Antonio Conte. Because if he gets sacked, it ain't Pochettino coming in. Because the free-flowing attacking football disappeared, and it's even further gone disappeared when we got Pratigy in. Because why do we get linked to Nuno? Why do we get Nuno in? Why were we linked to Gattuso? Why were we linked to Locatelli? It was all down to Pratigy. He wanted those type of managers. He wants conservative football. Conte does that in abundance. The only way we're going to change is if Pratigy goes. And that's not happening. So I don't understand where this logic of Tottenham fans are saying to me that we need to get rid of Antonio Conte. Because if you're getting rid of Antonio Conte, you're doing a whole rebuild. Because that's done. It's done now. There's no going back. Like, there's going to be players out the door. Then you're talking about your Harry Kanes, your Sons, your Kulicheskis, your Bentancurs. They're done. They're gone. You're not going to see them again. And we're going to have to go all over again. And then you're going to have to rely on people like the youngsters that are on loan at the moment, trying to start all over again. And when you're trying to start all over again, forget Champions League, forget FA Cups, forget Carabao Cups, Championships, forget that. That's way away from you at the moment. Because you're now competing with teams like Newcastle, Liverpool, Manchester United, Arsenal, Manchester City, Chelsea, who are still ahead of us. in some way. And the only reason why they're not ahead of, we're still competing with those teams is because we've still got the players like Harry Kane, Son. You could add maybe Kulusevski to that list. You could add Bentancur to that list, Lloris to that list, Højbjerg to that list if you want to put him in there as well. You know, players like that. But if they're not getting success, there's only one way it's going, and the clock is ticking. The clock is ticking, and it's ticking very, very fast. Very fast. And I don't think Tottenham fans actually realise it. So when you're saying that Conte needs to be sacked, you need to think about the ramifications of that. Because there's no other manager that is going to be better than him. And like I said before, who is going to make these decisions? Because it ain't going to be Daniel Levy on this. Because if Daniel Levy makes the next move on the manager, Prati's gone. And I don't think he's a Don. He's no Don. He is no Don whatsoever. Let's just get it right. There's no qualms. He's got lucky. He got lucky with those two signings from Juventus. You know he got lucky with those two signings because he got in late in the window. Very lucky. He hasn't done that much at all. He's got lucky with a lot of things. Romero, you already knew about him already. This structure that he's put in place at the moment, yeah, okay. But we need to see whether there's going to be any fruit from that at the moment. Because there's a lot of people that need to work together very well. That could all go to pieces. But like I said, this is the way we were going ever since we sacked Pochettino. And we carried it on ever since we sacked Steve Hitchen, who was not the problem. Who was not the problem. It was Daniel Levy the problem. He's always been the problem. And the problem is with Tottenham fans, we think about turnovers, financial turnovers, more than things on the pitch. And it's all said from what was said, what was shown after Newcastle. Bill Nicholson should have been honoured, but never got honoured in that game, even though we got embarrassed. And we're embarrassing against Nottingham Forest as well, which I'm still angry about, and I'll still be angry about after this World Cup as well, because I'm not letting that go. Like even the Conference League as well, because it's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. And I'm fed up with them embarrassing me anymore now. I'm fed up with them. Yeah? It's the players that need to get blamed, not the manager. And if no one can see that at the moment, I don't know what else to say. Now, this is what I'm going to leave it with anybody that's talking to me about Tottenham being that the manager's the problem. It's never been the problem. The manager. It's been the club. It's been the owners, and that's it. It's simple as that. And I don't care what anybody else says to me. And you know how it finishes with me on videos anymore. It's the one, the only, Alex THFC. If you don't know, you need to get to know, because that's what I'm going to say to any Tottenham fan that tells me I'm talking absolute rubbish, because I'm Mr. Box Office and you know it. And that's how I'm going, and that's how it goes. And that's it. And that's how I'm going to leave it like that. Take care. Have a good day. Bye-bye.